Razavan for FightHype.com. With me, got trainer, head coach for Chunky, James Degale, Jim Mcdonnell. Jim?
Hello, mate.
You're right?
Yeah, good, my friend, good.
Quite a lively little press conference.
Yeah,
that was.
very lively press conference.
I thought you weren't going to say anything for a minute.
No, it's like, yeah, like we was just having a chat off camera. I was just saying, it's like in football, it's like when Arsenal played Tottenham, it's a derby, and this is what it's like, the euphoria, the excitement, the buzz, the fans, and it's just so good, it's got that derby feel to it. So yeah, so it's a fight that people are going to tune into.
We're going to jump straight into it. Chris Senior said this, something I've never heard him say before, which is, I'm not convinced with Junior on Saturday night in terms of he could lose. In the past, he's always talked about him being a warrior, and in the past, he's also talked about how he's afraid for the opponent because of Junior's ruthlessness. What do you make of that comment?
Listen, Chris has been to the top of the sport, so he knows like what levels of boxing are like. He knows, and he knows if James Degale turns up Saturday night, he knows really that he'll be too good for Junior, because at this stage of Junior's career, like, he hasn't got the CV of James Degale. He hasn't won an Olympic gold medal. He hasn't beat the people that James Degale's beat. If he beats Degale, then he can go on to do that in his career and go on to be the fighter that like, he imagines himself to be, and wants to be, and what his dad wants him to be. But this is pretty much a crossroads fight for him, because when he's been stepped up before, he's fell short, and this time he falls short again, it's going to be hard for him to come back.
And why do you think
he'll probably have to go down to middleweight?
When he fought Taras twice, why do you think his performances weren't the performance that we're used to kind of seeing James in?
I think it's quite simple. James is a buzz fighter. He weren't buzzing for them fights. If you see James, any of his fights, when he's buzzing and he's got that adrenaline release in his system, that's when you see James Degale. That's when he performs. But in the Truex fight, there was no urgency, there was no energy, there was no build-up, there was no press conference like this. But it didn't set him on fire. This is different, and I can see it in his prep, see it in his training, see it in his attitude, see it in his talking today, see it in his energy. And that's the reason right there.
You've got 2-8 former world champion Paulie Malignaggi in the corner. How instrumental has he been, and what has he kind of helped with in camp?
Yeah, what I like about someone like Paulie Malignaggi is obviously he works on the media, and I've heard his conversations about fights and that's reflective. And we've known Paul for years, like going out to Miami, sparring and training, and he's always been a third eye for us, whether it's by telephone or conversation. So because he ain't doing nothing at this stage of the game, come and get involved, and he has, and that's just more strength to us.
What do you do to keep this momentum going with James now? They're 2 days away from potentially his biggest fight to date in terms of his career is on the line. He's clearly said this is a retirement fight. You've clearly said if James loses, he should pack up. But how do you now, from now and Saturday, how do you manage James?
Easy, because James has had much bigger fights than this. James has boxed in Olympic finals. James has boxed in British title fights. James has boxed in European title fights. James has boxed in numerous world title fights. James has been in a Lions Den in the backyard boxing a 5-year world champion in Lucien Boutte. James has beat Darrell. These are big fights. This is a big domestic fight. On the world stage, it's not shouting. It's not shouting from the rooftops. So James has got that experience, got that knowledge. That's why he'll be cool, calm, collective, ice bag on his head, won't burn up all that energy like a novice like Eubank Jr. will, because he hasn't got the experience of boxing at this level. He's only done it a few times domestically. So for James, that's a big plus that no one's looked at. You're the first person that's mentioned that. This is a big plus in James's arsenal that not a lot of people have looked at. I certainly have. And like you'll see after 6 rounds, you think he'll be blowing up. No matter if it is, it's the nervous energy, it's the adrenaline. He has never had to control it at this level, because he hasn't had the opportunity in his career to be boxing at that high level that James has already fought at. James has boxed at the highest icon of boxing against people as good as Darrell. Darrell's brilliant. Boutte, 5-year world champion. Badou Jack, great fighter. In the Lions Den, he's had that adrenaline release. He's boxed guys 3 times bigger than Eubank. You know, he knows how to deal with whatever he brings to the table. There's nothing he can bring to the table that James ain't already dealt with. He's dealt with it. But Eubank ain't dealt with what Degale brings to the table. An Olympic gold medalist, fast hands, speed, brilliant boxing brain, fitness, strength. It's in for another night.
Jim, obviously it's well known that Eubank's brought in a new trainer, right? Eubank's also gone on record to say, when asked the question, would you listen to instructions, and his response was, I will try. Do you think that if it's going to get to a stage where he's just going to just do what he's been doing for most of his career?
He's brought a training for one reason. panic. He's conformed to public screamer because everyone has said, you ain't, so he's just conformed, that's all he's done. He's still going to be the same person. The trainer ain't going to make no difference at all. He may adjust a few things technically, but from a mindset, when it gets hard in there, and you're 3-0, 4-0 down, he's going to be so... Don't matter what the trainer tells him. The trainer may even get blamed for the loss. The trainer may even get blamed for the loss. No one's thought about that. He got beat because he had a trainer. If he'd never had a trainer, he'd have won the fight. That's what you'll hear. That is being delusional. That is what you'll hear. So the trainer may be an excuse for the loss that's going to happen. I don't know. But what I'm saying to you is, at this stage of your career, is it advantageous or in fact a negative bringing in someone new and doing things different before a fight of this magnitude, of this level? So for me, you could toss a coin on the answer, because I don't think Junior even knows the answer until after this fight. After this fight, he goes, best thing I've ever done, or shouldn't have brought in a trainer. It'd be one or the other. If he wins, it'd be the first. If he don't, it'd be the other one.
Jim, we wish you nothing but the best. 48 hours away from the fight, and hopefully we'll catch up with you tomorrow after the weigh-in. Jim Mcdonnell for FightHype.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. A pleasure.